Hey guys, it's Em, and today I'm going to do a quick little tutorial on how to fix broken makeup. So I had this little guy, and basically this one was completely pulverized, and I had it like that actually for years, and I figured I would just use it as a pigment, but instead I looked up a couple tutorials online and found a really quick and easy way to do this. So I just did this one and just pressed it back into its pot. It's still wet, so I'm going to let that dry overnight. But unfortunately, I broke this one and it was really pretty and I didn't want to throw it away. So I'm going to show you guys what you need. So take your broken eyeshadow, your broken blush, broken powder, anything like that. Make sure you put it on like a piece of paper towel or something that you're not going to get it everywhere. You're going to need some rubbing alcohol, some Q-tips, and a Kleenex. Okay, so you have your eyeshadow open. You're going to take a Q-tip and you're just going to pretty much pulverize it into a really fine powder. And if you can, keep it in its container that it actually is already in, because that way you're not wasting the product putting it in a separate container. So really gently you're just going to break it up into really small pieces until you have a pretty good, decent consistency where there's no big lumps or clumps or anything like that. So just keep on doing that until you get a really almost like a pigment type consistency with your powder. And I'm not really pushing down too hard, and I'm trying to keep it contained so I don't make a ginormous mess. Alright, so once you've got a really fine milled powder, you're going to take your Q-tip and you're gently going to even out to make an even layer. And this also helps you to find any other clumps that you might have missed. Okay, so just try to make it one nice even layer. Just like, okay, so once you've made it one nice even layer, you're going to take a little capful of rubbing alcohol, and not a full cap. You guys can use an eyedropper if that's going to be easier for you. I'm just going to take, I'm actually going to dump a little bit of this out. You want to start really small, so I have about maybe a quarter of a capful in there, and I'm actually going to dump out most of that as well, so I'm only going to get about a few drops, just like that. And then you're going to evenly spread it around into your eyeshadow. And kind of the same with baking. You can always add more, but it's really hard to take away. So really carefully just get everything wet. Okay, and then you're going to take another clean Q-tip and you're just going to kind of mush it around to make it a paste. But you're looking for a paste consistency. You don't want this too wet, otherwise it will never set up. And then you're going to have to throw it away, which we don't want to do. Okay, so I'm just kind of mushing this all around to get a nice paste. And once you feel like you've got a pretty good start and it's pretty wet, you're gonna even it out again to try to make one nice little layer. And you guys can use like a little butter knife or anything like this. I just kind of found that a Q-tip works really well. Okay, so you got one pretty good decent layer there. Then you're gonna take a paper towel, Kleenex, even toilet paper works. I'm just going to take a Kleenex and I'm going to put it on there and then just press down lightly with my finger. And then you want to take something with a flat surface. I'm just using a mascara. And then you're going to take it and you're going to gently make circular motions Also patting it to make sure that it's nice and even into the corners of it. Patting down as well. And then you're just going to, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but basically you just want to kind of swirl and tap it in. Okay, so we're going to lift it up. So that is what we're looking at. So if you want it really nice and try, you know, if you want it pretty and everything, just fold over and just gently push that in there, and then you can swirl it to make sure that it's all nice and flat. So gently lift up, and that's what you're looking at. So if you want to clean up the edges, it's really simple and easy to do. You just take another little cap full of rubbing alcohol, dip your Q-tip in there, roll it on the paper towel to get rid of the excess, and then just gently clean up your edges. Want to give it one little final pat. See, you're still going to get the color and the shimmer and everything like that. And then you want to just leave it open and leave it overnight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hey guys, I thought I would just show you real quick a easy and quick way to fix a compact that just has a crack in it without having to demolish the entire pack. So what you're going to need is some Q-tips, some rubbing alcohol, your compact obviously, and something with a flat surface, as well as either a piece of tissue, it could be paper towel, or it could even be toilet paper. So I unfortunately just cracked my new highlighter, and also too, I just wanted to show you this real quick. This is a bronzer, it's the same thing by Wet n Wild, and I had a little crack in it, so I just fixed it instead of having to demolish, you know, 99% of the actual powder itself. Get out. So what you're going to do is, I tried to press it in, but I found this way is actually probably going to be a lot easier. You're going to take a Q-tip, and just in the parts that are cracked, you're going to kind of just either break it up, or if you've got it packed in there pretty good, you can just kind of pack it down a little bit more. Or you can kind of start to break up that little section. So I'm going to break up just this little section and just put it into a very fine milled powder, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Let it focus. I'll show you guys what it looks like in a sec. Okay, so I just broke up with the actual eraser of a pencil, just broke up the little part that was actually cracked. So what you're going to do now is you're going to kind of try to make it into an even layer. And then you're going to take, you can take an eyedropper, or if you've got a pretty steady hand, you can just use it from the cap. I'm just going to take a little bit from the cap, and I'm actually going to turn it so it's a little easier in case something spills, it doesn't go over in this area. And you're just going to put little drops of rubbing alcohol on there. Then you're going to take a Q-tip and you're going to move it around until it makes a paste. And you want this to be a pretty thick paste, but you don't want it to be too wet because then it won't set up. So just keep on adding a tiny bit more of alcohol to it as you go if you feel that it's still too dry. So you just want to move it around, make sure you get all the little particles that you broke up into the paste. And if you get some in that little crack, that's alright. We'll fix that in a sec. Just Just keep moving it around until you've got all the powder mixed in. And once you do that, kind of reform it into the compact. Make sure there's no air bubbles, and that's why I like using a Q-tip. Okay, so make it an even layer. Just like that. Then you're going to take your piece of tissue, and I'm just going to open it up a little bit. Lay it on top, and then just with your thumb, gently press it in to place. So you can use your finger or your thumb, whichever one. You don't want to add too much pressure because then you don't want to crack the rest of the compact that you just fixed. And then what you can do is take something flat and then gently rub and pat it into place. And then if you feel like your tissue is starting to get pretty wet, take it off and flip it around, and then tap it in, and then this is just also so it kind of buffs it out so it's the same thickness as the rest of the compact. And there you go. So what you want to do is you want to let this sit opened up, dry overnight, and in the morning you will have a compact that is totally brand new. So if you want to clean up the edges, what you can do is you can take a little cotton ball or a cotton swab with a tiny bit of rubbing alcohol on it. You can, oop, there's my cap. Just roll it on the paper towel to get rid of the excess, and then just go around and clean it up. Just like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it helped you in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. I love ya. Bye! Hey guys, so it's the next day and I just wanted to show you the end result. And as you can see, it's totally hardened. And just want to show you that by doing this, you don't lose any of the color or pigment or anything like that. So I'm going to swatch these and then I'll show you. Okay, so here are the swatches in the order. There's the brown, the highlight, and the blue, the teal color, so you don't lose any of the shine or anything like that. So I hope this was helpful for you guys.